Hey Matt, this is my Kerbal Space Program video for you. We're going to get you into orbit using a very simple rocket. So let's go ahead and get this party started. I am using a lot of mods, so I'm just going to stick to the regular stock parts. Alright, so we're going to start out with our command pod here, like I was telling you. Okay. Next up, we're going to add our stack separator. And to make sure we don't forget, why don't we add a little parachute on top, keep those Kerbals going. And let's get rid of this, and we'll call it Hello World. Why? Because you're a programmer and that's funny. No, it's not. Okay, well, whatever. Alright, there's your ASAS. That allows you to press T and not let your craft go spinning wildly, which admittedly is kind of fun when you want to watch something funny happen, but not so much fun when you're trying to actually build something to get to orbit. Alright, so if you didn't catch that, I used the FL-T800 fuel tank, and then I am using the LV-T30 liquid fuel engine, as opposed to the smaller T45. I prefer this one a little bit more in just straight up launches. Okay. Next up, we're going to set our symmetry mode to 6x. And we are going to use this radial decoupler. Set that there. And now we're going to add more fuel. Okay. And then before we forget, we're going to add these external fuel ducts. I like to call them the fuel transfer nozzles. Put them right there. Go back. Add more engines. I'm probably going way too fast, so feel free to rewind this if you need to. Alright. More structural decouplers. Go back to propulsion. Let's get some solid rocket boosters going on here. Now these will probably cause the crafts to spin just ever so slightly. Don't worry about it too much. We'll get it figured out. They'll definitely spin if I put them on like that though, so how about we fix that? There we go. That looks pretty good. And then we want to make sure all of our rocket engines are all in the same stage. And then this is just me being cutesy about it, but I'm going to put my parachute in a different stage than my stack separator here. Then we're going to add our launch stability enhancers, version 3.0. There, and save, hit launch. Oh look, I already built a spaceship called Get to Orbit Spaceship that I already had built earlier. Hence the I already built it. Alright, so we're going to hit T here. Throttle all the way up. Spacebar go. Now, we want to watch our velocity here. That's about as fast as you want to go under, I'm going to say 10 kilometers or so. See the rate at which I'm accelerating. You don't want to go much faster than that. And as you can tell, I'm also spinning wildly, and it looks like we may get our first explosion, which, I mean, everybody likes a good explosion in a space program. Alright, well this launch is not going very well, so we'll try something different here. Alrighty. Also, if you right-click, you can get those symmetry nodes to go backwards. You probably knew that already, but I figured I'd tell you anyway. Alright, so we're going to follow a good old KSP principle. If it's not working, add more struts. There we go. Struts. So we're going to add these to here. And yes, I know it looks cluttered. Doesn't matter. If it gets to space, that's the important part. We're going to add these to here. And hopefully, that will prevent any wackiness. So let's go ahead and try this launch again. Alright. And throttle all the way up. Press T for SAS. Go. Again, once you hit about 100 meters per second, you just want to kind of go pretty slow. and cut throttle because our apoapsis is at 245 kilometers. Alright, and this little dot right here is called prograde, and because my apoapsis is so high, I probably am not going to be able to actually make orbit, like a full orbit. Alright, so let's set a node, and we're going to burn prograde. And we're going to get ourselves a nice orbit set up here. Can take a couple tries, not a big deal. Yeah, let's pull that down a little bit. A bit of a lopsided orbit here. 150 kilometers. 135 kilometers. 100 kilometers. Okay, that looks good. Turn off map. There's my node. Whoops, missed it a little bit here. Alright. And then what you can do is you can set your SAS on that node. And I think I have enough gas to do this. I've got about a minute. It's going to be... Oops, oversped. Oh well, full burn. But generally you want to have about equal amounts of time on... So like if it's a 30-second burn, you want to start your burn 15 seconds before. And then burn for 15 seconds after. Yeah, I got plenty of fuel to do this. So we made it a little bit bigger than we originally wanted. Whatever. Alright, congratulations. We are now in orbit. But we want to go home. Okay, well that's easy. Set a burning prograde. We're going to burn retrograde. And watch how fast you can get a ship out of orbit. Alright, so here's what our orbit looks like. By the way, this is my space station. That is a mining ship that I apparently have set out for the moon that I totally forgot about. And go ahead and burn this, and bam, we're already back into landing. So since we're going to do that, I'll just point this way, and yeah, we don't need that anymore. Okay. Hurry this right the crap up. Also, if you hit caps lock, it puts on fine-tuned controls. Very nice if you're trying to look stylistic. And then we'll do a physics warp. Speed this mess up. Suppose we can give those guys a good spin there. Hello, Thunder. Blah, 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 blah. Falling towards the surface at 2 kilometers a second. I should probably deploy the parachute pretty soon. That looks like a good time. And these parachutes, as I'm sure you figured out, will deploy at about 500 meters above the ground. there we go. Congratulations, Matt. You made it to space and back. Now to build a space station. Ready, set, go.